I just had to make a new one. So, I'm just gonna go in and fix some things, and then I'll be back. Shite. So, okay, I'm just going to put in some info into the new stream. This is how it is when you don't have good equipment. Soon to be finished. So, so there we are. So, just have to post it on Facebook and stuff like that. So tired of this shit. I shouldn't have done it today. I mean, my computer hung itself up, and then when I restarted it, it's actually started to update right now, right today, of course. So there we are, I think. So I'm coming. Sooner or later. Remember the freaking thumbs up. And I will start painting soon enough. Just need to do some shit. So. Sehr wir, ja. Then. Okay. Strange. It made that sound probably because I was streaming or having the computer on for some reason. Hope you can hear me now. Guess you can hear me. Sound is off. Yeah, you can hear me. Yeah. Hello. Ali Alves. Who's Ali Alves? Hello, Ali. Hello, hello, hello. So, yeah, we're gonna start painting. Just gonna move the hello for people, 5 likes, and I don't know how much. Yeah, took me 10 minutes to get started. Sorry about that. It became a lot of chaos, a lot of craziness, and yeah. So what can go wrong? I don't know. 6 people are watching. Now, if you like to ask questions, you can do that. And I will answer. I can actually see it on the screen here. So if you have any painting questions or something, you can ask me questions, as I said. Now I will just start here and adding some more details and stuff, and try to figure out how to build textures here. Despite it isn't that much to work with when it comes to nuance and stuff on this painting, but I will do it, you know. So just gonna see. So
Let us seek for some blessing which does not seem good enough. Let it stand up and
that is weird. I tried to have some sound on, and it's probably because of the signal in here. I can't do that, probably. Yeah, alright. Hello, good evening. Good evening. I had some problems in the beginning of the stream because it turned itself off and on, and a lot of stuff happened. I have no idea. I turned it the wrong way and I had to start it up again. It is that F-in phone that isn't so good. Hello, Amalia. So just try to get something done today. I was actually planning to play some audiobook in the background or something, because maybe because people aren't asking so many questions, just so when people don't ask questions, I would like to just listen to some audiobooks. But, you know, if somebody wants to ask something, please do, and I will just paint. And if somebody wants to jump in, they can do that. The best thing for me is basically just to forget if anyone is watching. So, yeah, and then just get some neons here. You just have to build very slowly in this one because I don't have that much to work with when it comes to textures and stuff, as I said before. It's quite flat. So anyway, I do my best, of course. Remember, thumbs up. It's very important. So, and then just now slowly going to build this face, basically like the sculpture. Maybe Amalie could ask me a question. As usual, I need help to get going. She asked ChatGPT, and then just ChatGPT controlling my face. Same questions every time. I mean, even ChatGPT is probably very limited. You see now, just trying to. It has dried now, so it can actually be quite a little bit easier for me to build more skin tone. There isn't so much skin tone in this either, so it's more neons. Yeah. As you pop in and watch for a little bit, just take the time and just smash that like button, because it's good for the algorithm. Every comment, every hello is very important. Actually, some of the paint here are dry, so that's quite annoying. Anyway, I need glasses today. I've had a lot of pain lately, so in my foot I have to go in and do a remission of my do another hip replacement because it's loose and it hurts like hell and it's exhausting, but I'm just gonna stop complaining now. Maybe talk about something fun, maybe. Never know. Gee, I think maybe I can actually listen to Seneca. Okay, hello. As a professional artist, how do you motivate yourself to paint every day? I don't. That's hell. You know, that's hell. Because, as I say, it's something in you. When things become difficult, there is something in me that try to avoid. It's almost like a underlying psychology and procrastination. The only way I know is just to force oneself to start, as Seneca says, as also, you know, Marcus Aurelius says in meditations. The only way to get something done is to start. And that's the whole thing. You just have to start. You have to. It's not every day I can get started because I procrastinate. There's always something I'm going to do. I go and I exercise too late, like yesterday. I knew if I go and exercise now, I had this voice in my head. And this is very important. If you have a voice in your head that tells you, don't do this, you're probably not going to get anything done if you do this other thing. And you know that your painting is more important. Like me, actually, it's more like a deadline on this one too. It's over the deadline a long time ago anyway, but yesterday, since you asked me that question, how do I find motivation? Yesterday, it became 7:30 in the evening, and I knew that if I now go and exercise, I probably won't be able to get much done. But then I have this other voice in my head that actually want to exercise, because exercise for me is easy. It is like eating chips. It's like eating pizza. It gives me instant gratification. And I went and I did that. I exercised a little bit too long. I just say, okay, just do 1 hour. Then I got some pain in my foot because I was moving around too much. And I didn't get anything done because suddenly it was 12 o'clock in the evening, and I tried to get something done, but I was too tired, and I thought, okay, let's just do it tomorrow. Today I was early up. I did some stuff that I needed to do. I did not go and exercise because I decided today I'm really gonna get something done. Then I made first one short video to YouTube, then I made another one, and suddenly, boom, it's midnight again. And I still hadn't gotten started. I was actually gonna meet my girlfriend. I found out I just wouldn't get anything done if I did that, so I had to, do that off. It's fine for her. She's a sweetheart. She understands. So she's also a painter. She understands this, and that's how it is. The only way is to, maybe you shouldn't say that out loud, but be a Nazi, with your time, or be totally focused, and have a schedule and just go do it. And that's the answer to the question. Irene, as a professional artist, how do you motivate yourself to paint every day? I find it hard to motivate. As I said, you can't wait for inspiration. You just have to start doing it. And you also have to ask, why aren't you motivated? Is it because you don't like it? Is there something in you that doesn't really like it? If that's the answer, maybe you should just do something else, Because I love it when I get started. And that in itself, the more I paint, the more I get motivated. Because in the end, if you have to also train your brain to get started. So it gets easier and easier to get started. And because if you actually love it when you do it, it should be a motivating factor in itself. But if you're not motivated, but you know that you get motivated when you get started, that is the way to go. You just have to get started. It's very simple. It is as simple as there's nothing else. I can't be motivated by money. I know I could have done so much work just for money. but I can't motivate myself to paint for money. I like money, I like using money, I like spending, I like having money, but I'm not able to motivate myself through just fame or money. It has to come from the lust of seeing results. So that's basically the answer. Artists need to go to prison. Yeah. Artists need to go to prison. Yeah, that's true. I was in prison and I was so motivated. I was drawing every day. I was writing every day. I was exercising. My body was in good shape. I was like a 20-year-old again, despite some pain in my foot. But it was crazy because I was so hyper-focused. And also in that situation you get, of course, full of testosterone because you are kind of in a certain war mode all the time. So yeah, it was, as I say, give me life in prison, and I will get a lot done. But I have to create these prison rules for myself, because you don't want to spend your life in a small room with, yeah, you want to be free, but you don't want your freedom to be your curse. And for me, all my life, the moment I get some freedom, it becomes a curse, because my ADHD and hypomania just always bring me to do the wrong things. So yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, if you have more questions, it would be great, because as you know, I like to talk. So yeah, maybe I could actually cut down the stream, so I don't have to show you the beginning with all the chaos. I started up one and then I couldn't get the camera to turn, and something happened, so I just deleted the first try. So anyway, do you have any more comments, Amalia? Ali Alves, are you still there? Maybe you could answer if you're still there and ask some questions. Let me see now. I think this has to be a little bit higher. Not that. I mean, if I suddenly didn't like painting, there was a time when I had excruciating pain over a long period of time before my hip replacements, and I kind of lost the capability of feeling pleasure, and it was really hard for me to get into the work. I'm talking with ChatGPT, it thinks I have ADHD. Well, I think you have ADHD, darling. It's just that you are not that kind of outgoing like me. You don't talk as much as me. So people who test you get basically the wrong impression. So I think I have ADHD. Or some sort of. But you know, is ADHD a disease? No, it isn't. It's a genetic variation. It is what makes people that have this disorder go the extra mile and push themselves, because when you have so-called ADHD, you have a brain that is always a little bit low on dopamine. So that is why we kind of we try to chase that high, and it can be detrimental to us, because that is the totally wrong approach. What we should chase is slow dopamine. Basically, because if you know the medicines they take actually gives them a kind of a baseline of dopamine, so they become more calm. Now I've tried the medicines and recreationally, yeah, you get high if you just use it recreationally. But I can actually feel when I've taken these tablets that because my daughter has ADHD, so she got, of course I have too, but I haven't got the medicines. But I noticed when I took the medicine that I become very, very calm, or very, very focused and stuff. But I do exactly the same thing when I paint. When I get in deep into the painting, it is the purest form of ADHD medicine, because I get calm, I feel good, I am focused, I feel I do something important or something with meaning and stuff like that. So yeah, that is why creative work, I think most people who are creative do have ADHD. I saw the other day there was a guy who said, oh, he was laughing at Donald Trump because Donald Trump couldn't read so good from this letter or this thing he was reading from. But they don't know. Donald Trump has severe ADHD, and he has also probably dyslexia. Like me, I have some dyslexia. So if I'm gonna read from a note, I can easily start stuttering, because I get almost overwhelmed by the situation. So yeah. Seven people are. Remember the thumbs up, it's so important. You have to do the thumbs up. So, Amalia, why do ChatGPT think you have ADHD? Why? Why ADHD? If somebody want to be really sweet to me, you can always send me a super chat or buy me a coffee or something like that. That would be really great. 7 likes now. That's good. Remember the thumbs up. I see that again and again. Oh, I'm so stiff now. Yeah, maybe Amalia goes to bed soon, so yeah. Anyway, just gonna try to get in some painting. If somebody want to ask me some painting question, please do. I'm gonna try to get this here right, it comes down more like this. And this is one of the things that I like, when I build things like this. I kind of mold it with the background. And this is why these paintings takes a lot of time. I found this girl who is making this kitsch stuff. And I think I have to make a comment video to her horrific painting, and people are so impressed by her, and it's so annoying. I have no idea how annoying it is that people gonna put that in comments, I think. See if I can find that chick. It's so horrific what she's doing. Just can't stand her. I've seen her videos all over the place these days. Where is it now? Of course, when I need it, it's probably gone. Maybe it's actually the other channel. Check it out. Maybe. So maybe it's my other channel. Let me check it out if it's the other channel. No, it's the horror. I think I want to put on if I can find her videos. No, suddenly she's gone. Of course, when I needed it, she's gone. Why? Ugh, so typical. She's creating this, what shall we say, it's kind of a abstract or pseudo-abstract kitsch. No, maybe she has blocked me because I've been commenting on her videos. Where the hell did she go? So boring, you can't find her. Of course I can't find her. Just when I needed it. Yeah, she's gone. She probably seen my comments and blocked me or something like that. Ah, okay. Everything is wrong today, you know. I couldn't even. I've been inundated by her videos. It's highly interesting. I told that I'm not very chatty, outgoing, and that I do not act out socially, but I struggle with anxiety, ruminating, feeling understimulated, and find it hard to focus on things unless it's highly interesting. Yeah, but I mean, that shouldn't be called a disease. That should be being smart. Could you send me the link to that girl that was such a bad painter? I'll post a link in. I sent you that link to that horrible girl who painted these horrible paintings. And everybody think it's so great, and it's just tricks and. ChatGPT said it's common that people with autism, especially girls. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sounds logical. So, Gal. Yeah, because you have all the traits of ADHD. I mean, the way you exercise, you go crazy, you can't get enough. The way you when you get focused, when you're hyper focused. It's basically me without the I'm very social because I'm basically, and hard to say it, this almost sounds like narcissism, because maybe it also is, but when I talk to people or in conversations, I become very happy. I love conversation because it brings in this very nice flow, and it's basically almost like painting in a way, or training, and I can't stop talking. And my mother is the same thing. I do oversharing, and maybe I have some autism too, because my mother for sure has, because she is just she just can't stop. And but I have the diagnosis hypomania and stuff like that, so I guess it for sure runs in the family. My daughter has the same thing. My brother has problems, you know. It's like we can't really get up in the morning, but we never go to bed. So it's always something else we're going to do. And it's kind of a nemesis in a way. I never seem to find that peace. I can think every evening, tomorrow I'm really gonna be focused. Tomorrow I'm gonna start with the painting. Then I do some hoarding. Today I started to rearrange my studio again. And it's always something. And then I made 2 videos for YouTube. And it's always something. And it's so frustrating. But yeah. Yeah, Talia Stanton. Didn't I? Yes, probably. Could you send a link here? So if you just copy the link and see if I can find it. Because I'm gonna make a video to my YouTube channel where I go through her paintings, because it's just so sad. It's better, of course. It is a little bit better than Bob Ross, but when you look at what she's doing, it's just she learned herself some tricks, and she just keeps moving around these tricks and creating. And she's so happy all the time. Oh, she's so happy. You know, exactly the kind of person. She's always happy, and if you criticized her stuff a little bit, her eyes would turn into a demon. And that's the narcissist. She is a total narcissist, or borderline. Yeah, no, she's a narcissist. Nobody is that happy. You know what I mean? I used to have a girl in my life, and she was like that. She was always so happy, and but she wasn't. She was covering up a deep sadness, deep hole in her heart, and yeah. She was actually quite a good artist, actually became, but she couldn't keep it up, because she always had to kind of figure out something new. There always had to be something new. And instead of evolving as an artist, she kind of had to try everything all the time, and in the end I think she actually stopped doing art. But she had an abusive mother and everything, so and no father, and yeah, it's kind of a story of my life, really. All these, I think I had a tendency to pick out people that needed my help or something like that. And I have to say that my sweet Amalia is probably one of the she is probably the most harmonious person I have ever been with. So, and sweet and kind and funny. Actually funny. That is not often a girl is funny, but she's actually funny. Suddenly she finds things funny and I have no idea why or what she's laughing about. So cute. It's so cute. Amalia is so cute. And pretty. See if I can find that Tali. What was it? Tali Stanton? Taliha Stanton? Taliha Stanton, okay. Taliha Stanton. Yeah, there it is. Oh, the heart. Yeah. I have to turn on the sound for this. That's a short video. Just listen to this.
This has to be one of the prettiest paintings that I've done in so long. So after having an abstract just popped aside in my studio for the better part of half a year, I finally found the inspiration and what she was going to be. This is going to be one of the last.
She really gives me the creeps.
Very long time.
I'm so happy.
This has to be one of the prettiest paintings that I've done in so long. So after having an abstract just popped aside.
Who says that? This must be one of the prettiest paintings that I've...
One of my favorite assumptions that people make about me is, oh, you just get to do art because of daddy's credit card, and that literally could not be further from the truth, and I actually employ my mum. The story of how that happened starts all the way back in 2020 when I upgraded my little home art printer to a wide
It's just
format
kitsch.
printer.
The so-called abstract kitsch. I'm gonna post a link to this in... I need to make a comment to this on my YouTube channel. It's just so horrible. Oh, I can't stand it. It's so... the horror. Yeah. Paste. There it is. The link to the horrific that I thought to listen to. Come on. Thank you. Yeah, you deserve it. Yeah, absolutely. Did you let me share the link to her channel? Well, I share the link to her channel now. And it's the kind of painting that kind of looks, it kind of tricks people. I mean, people are even tricked by Bob Ross for some weird reason. And that says a lot about the level of consciousness among people. It is to be tricked to believe that Bob Ross is good painting. That is just, I mean, but then again, I have to go back and remember when I started out as an artist, or started out doing art, I was basically emotionally and intellectually and technically totally blind. I also basically lacked real introspection, like real consciousness, and that girl totally lacks real consciousness. The very few people have actual consciousness, the type of consciousness that make us really be self-critical. It's one of the hardest things, I think, it is to be self-critical. And you can't even know that. I could stand here now and feel that I'm self-critical. I can feel that I'm actually conscious. But in 5 years, I realized that I wasn't really that conscious after all. And I've seen that. I've seen it happen. And so you have to be even critical to that. You can't really know. The only thing is like when they say, when a person like me, I ask myself, am I a narcissist? Do I have narcissistic disorder? And they say that narcissists don't ask that question, and therefore I'm not a narcissist. But then I of course ask the question, well, what if I'm the kind of narcissist that actually asked that question so I don't have to call myself a narcissist? But then again, I know it's an honest question. I really try to go deep and figure out if am I a sociopath? You know I could kill. In self-defense, I would kill without blinking, and I wouldn't even regret it. I'd probably feel great, because I don't like people who are assholes, and I could easily kill. I know that because I have been in fights where I take absolutely no prisoners, and I just go totally nuts. And I have never regretted hurting anyone who attacked me, so I know I have in me the necessary means of being a killer. But I'm not a psychopath. I don't take pleasure in seeing people suffer. Even a couple of times I have felt a little bit sorry for a person, especially one that I took down. I actually felt a little bit sorry for him after it, because yeah, I really beat him up, you know. It's like he attacked me with this piece of wood with a nail in it, so it went into my arm and stuff. And it was actually 2 people that attacked me and my brother, and I took down both of them. And one of them, it looked like the Elephant Man afterwards, and I actually started to feel sorry for the guy. But, you know, yeah. But I'm not a psychopath. Do I have narcissistic traits? Yes, probably. But I never felt entitled. Well, I probably did when I was young, when I didn't have much consciousness. And then I would actually, when I go back to my youth, I actually think I had a lot of narcissistic traits, because I had been bullied and I had been a lot alone. I was a very kind child. Then I became a rough teenager. Then I became this Don Juan that basically used girls for let's call it narcissistic supply, because that is actually what it was when I look back at it. But now I think, as I said, I didn't lose the child. The child in me didn't die. The kind child that tried to save birds and were kind to every person who was weak. I was always kind to them, and I don't think I bullied anyone. I remember I did some stuff that I find quite disturbing. When I was like 15 years old, I had grabbed a guy's arm and I cut him in the hand with a piece of glass and stuff. And I think, why did I do that? You know, so I even I didn't even remember it. And so, yeah, it's hard to know. I know one person I actually hit because, and I feel bad because he wasn't a part of we had this game where we hit each other in the back of the head, so we got dizzy and stuff. Me and the boys, and this guy wasn't actually into that, and I did it to him, and he started to attack me, but he couldn't take me. But I told him, "Hey, please stop, okay, sorry, I shouldn't have done that." I even told him I'm sorry, and then he wouldn't quit, and then in the end I hit him in the nose, and I think I broke his nose or something, and to this day I feel bad just talking about it. And if I was a psychopath, I wouldn't have felt bad, I think. So yeah, I still feel bad for it. I remember it actually. You know, one time I actually, he was older than me, and I had peed on his spike, and he sat himself on the seat, and people told him after it, and he came and he hit me in the face, and he said he was sorry after, and I told him, you know what, I actually deserved it, and I to this day I felt I deserved it. So I guess I always had some sense of fairness. And but did I become a narcissist or a narcissistic trait when it came to girls and the way I always needed to be right? Then we have my mother actually. She always needs to be right. I never heard her say I'm sorry. Actually, it's weird. Anyway, I'm talking too much again, I guess. You people should actually go and see that girl, that channel, that girl who paints. I'm gonna make a video where I talk about that girl, because is it right to criticize other artists? Well, if somebody do work that isn't that good, like technically good, it's fine. Everybody goes through the same processes. But what is horrible with this? What's her name again? Yeah. Taliha Stanton girl. What is wrong there is it is so superficial. It is not real. It's just you have a girl that actually have a little bit of technique, that could actually take it to a higher level, but she kind of chooses to stay in the superficial. And I don't believe, I have a hard time believing that she doesn't know. I have a very hard time believing that she doesn't really know, or have at least a little bit of sense of this not being real. It isn't that it kind of for people it will look impressive because she's, well, you just have to see it. I'm gonna make a video on my YouTube channel talking about her art. Because I made one about Bob Ross, and they say we shouldn't talk bad about the dead, but he said, they said he was making art for the masses. So what he actually was saying, what Bob Ross was saying, I'm making art for stupid people. Yeah, I agree, John Blacksby. Over the years, I noticed a lot of your work tends towards the blue spectrum. Is it because you love the color blue, or is it the deeper reason? Now, I think the reason is if you have a lot of bluish colors, it is like nature. If you want the orange or yellow or the red, you need the high. You need also strong blue or strong green or strong. So I guess I'm a sucker for contrast. So I guess that is the reason why. Also, I think I do love blue. Now, there's also one other reason, of course, when it comes to my the things I painted from my art photo from the Pentax Asi, the 6.7 camera. I used I have a few more of the films, but I used a film. You got it also from Kodak, but also Fuji, called a color with blue filter in it. So because I'm using an ordinary light bulb, which is yellow, has yellow or very warm light that I put on the models. So to remove a lot of the yellow, this film had this blue filter in it. And of course, it removed the yellows in the skin tone and the light, but it also at the same time made the room bluer than it actually is. So when I painted these paintings, and I will paint more of them because I have a lot of good photos to paint. Of course, when the photo was blue or bluish in the shadow parts, I painted the color I saw. So that is basically one of the reasons why some of my paintings are quite blue. If you look at my still lifes or that I paint from Natura, you don't have the same blue. They are more earthy and natural. But there too, I see that I always tend to push the light a little bit further. I tend to push the sculptural reality or the sculpting process a little bit further. So it is more, to me, I think I'm in love with contrast. And bluish colors, besides warm colors, creates the most contrast. So I think that's the reason. John Blangsby, being self-critical, is what pushes an artist to improve, to reach excellence in their art. Yeah, that is very true. But and not to be arrogant, because I am, it's rare. Many artists think they're critical, but I don't think that really is. It is a lot of jargon. It is a lot of vanity. A lot of, oh, I'm an artist. I'm so self-critical. Then you see what they do, and it's conceptual bullshit, which is based on the idea alone, and they don't do any real hard work. I think honesty is to be found the most neurotic artists are probably the most honest, if you know what I mean. The more they believe in their own myth, especially if you hear an artist talk about talent, or they talk about genius, you know you should start running. If they actually believe themselves that they are a genius, that they have some powers that other people don't have, that makes them be able to create, you have a person you should not let into your life. First of all, the creative process is a universal trait. That is basically what makes us human. That is our emotions and neurosis and the battle between the inner ape and reason, the battle between lust and reason. These are the things that makes us human. No other animal has any, and not even the chimps, have any battle, inner battle going on, or real battle in any moral sense. They don't ask question in hindsight when they kill their relatives because they are maybe started a new family or whatever. They just go and kill. They don't have, and they do not have any real creativity. Yeah, they can pick up some sticks and get some honey out of a tree and maybe stuff like that, but they don't have any real sense of existence. So they don't have the battles we have. We have an extreme battle actually between reason and there's an extreme battle between the ape and the human, and we have the human part is the introspection part. I made a video about what is consciousness. I talk about this, and I kind of try to figure out what is really consciousness, and how do we know that we are conscious? How do you really know? Because everybody believes they are conscious, okay? So like when it comes to me, when I meet new people and stuff, very often they tell me, oh, you're so great, you're so honest, you're so direct, and we love you for it, and you should stay that way, and blah, blah, blah. And then maybe they get into a different life situation where they want to hide, they want to lie, they want to face reality. And suddenly, what they loved about me is a problem. So, and I have to ask, how conscious is a person when they can actually do that, when they can change that much? I can argue with people about anything, and disagree. It can be Israel, it can be Trump, it can be the war it can be religion, it can be anything. But I never take it personal. I never take it personal that people disagree with me. I never say, oh, I'm so offended by that. I'm so offended that you don't agree with me, or that you disagree with me. Or I'm so offended and I feel personally attacked when you disagree. Like a lot of religious people do, you criticize their religion and they take it so damn personal. Because that is because they have made their opinions, and their opinions of course is wrong. There is no Jesus or Muhammad or any God in the sky that see everything we do and read our thoughts, and he sent himself as his own son, or he made this perfect human being called Muhammad and all these things, you know. It doesn't exist. And you tell this to these people and they get offended because they have made their beliefs into identity. Their identity is their beliefs. And when your beliefs are manifestly based in delusion, and somebody comes around and they start kicking in the doors and starts to show you that you are living in delusion, then they get offended, then they get emotional, then they go into flight and fight, and they wanna, you know, the Islamists actually want to kill you. The Christian wants you to go to hell, and I guess the Vikings didn't really care. They just wanted your gold and your women and your life, probably. Yeah, it's actually started to look like him now. I'm standing here talking about everything else but painting. Now, if somebody have a painting question to me, and if you're new here, please give it a thumbs up. If you have some painting question to me, or any other question, you can ask me anything. Maybe I should have it ask me anything. How big is your cock? Bigger than average. Seriously. Part, sorry, question. Being so, yeah, I understand question. Ask me a question, someone. I think I need, maybe this is, that's quite high here. Move that up a little bit. It's going to be maybe like this. Hello, 10 people watching. Give a thumbs up. It's actually low. I think I need to, I can't charge. I've only 10% left of my yeah. So I guess this was a long rant. I didn't have much electricity on my phone. It's only 10% now. 10% is actually quite a lot. Maybe I should just let it go until it says bye-bye. But I also need to film this for my process video. And I should do that before I become too tired. Maybe I'll do another stream tomorrow evening. So stay tuned, I might do another stream tomorrow. And I'm going to try to get it earlier and longer and better. And I need to go to Taekwondo with my girlfriend and train her a little bit. But I can't do much training myself because my foot has the prosthesis has loosened from the bone, and it hurts, and I can't kick right now. So, and I'm gonna go into another operation the 23rd of April, and the problem is that when they actually do a revision of a hip, it's a 4-hour. Thanks for another great live stream. Yeah, do you have any more questions, Irene? I'm going to send you the palette, by the way. I'm going to show you the one I'm going to send you. I think I'm going to send you this one. It's kind of have a very special shape. I kind of like these. So this is the palette I'm going to send you. This is kind of cool. It's very good to hold, actually. So you should try holding it. Then you can, if you get some kind of a thin wood, you could line it up and just cut out your own things with it. So I'm going to send you this one. So yeah, it's a nice present for you. So, and you've been a patron and everything all these years, so thank you very much. I'm also gonna start doing my, I'm so out of whack, you know, when it comes to that, when it comes to my patron giveaway, because I was in prison and I had the pain and I had the operations and I had so many. But I'm gonna start picking up the patron giveaway thing again, one painting a month. I'm gonna try when I get really into it and do 4 a month, so I can kind of pick up where I left off. I don't wanna cheat anyone, so people who haven't been patrons for basically 2 years suddenly could actually get a notification that, hey, you have won a painting. So I'm gonna do that on Patreon. So if you're here, if somebody is listening, they can actually go to my Patreon and sign up there. I also do coaching, so if you want to live stream on a personal level and me to teach you how to paint, there's a tier. I'm gonna make another one too. There's a tier that gives you a live stream or live class every month, but I'm gonna make one which is once a week, and as it grows, I guess it will be limited to how much time I can actually spend. But I love to talk to people, so and it's quite cheap. It's only $15 for a live stream, and you will get help. I love talking with people. I'm very social, so for me it would be like painting with the person, you know. It will be like I have my phone there and we talk and they can see how I do it, they can ask questions, and it's like a class just with one-on-one. And also on Patreon I will answer all, if you go in for just $1 or $5, I will answer all the questions. Of course I will answer all the questions also on YouTube. There's not so much traffic now, so also if these live streams at some point blows up and I got a lot of views and a lot of questions, I might have to only be able to answer questions that have a super chat attached to it. But I guess that is quite far in the future. So if somebody want to give me a super chat, that would be great. You think maybe a lot of artists believe they're different or talented because they create something aesthetically pleasing rather than creating something considered mundane. Yeah, yeah. I think that's a disease in art, and been like that since the beginning of the 1900s, after Duchamp and you know the urinal and all these things. It is like there was this Norwegian author. What was his name again? I should have remembered that number. It's getting late. Anyway, he said when the demand of being original was kind of pushed at the end of the 1900s, it drove the artists and even more it drove the authors and even more the artists out in such an angst not to look like each other, that it drove them to everything they did look like shit, you know. And there is something when people create something that actually are aesthetically pleasing, they think it's superficial, and it isn't. Sometimes it is. You know that girl I was talking about? She is creating things that look for people who doesn't. It's almost like if you haven't any experience with true narcissists, or you have studied narcissists, you will fall for the love bombing. You will fall for all the compliments they give you. And there are gallerists and there are people who have tried love bombing with me. So I actually fell for it also in a relationship. I fell for the love bombing. And but when you actually see it, you can't unsee it. So, and you see it all over the place. You start to see it long before most people will have to be around these people much longer to spot that there's something wrong, because they don't have any knowledge, both knowledge and experience. So yeah, that was a rant. So artists might be afraid. The artists are also afraid of other artists. You have to also think that artists are very often pushing left-wing politics. They are pushing a lot of identity politics. They are very fragile. They are, yeah. So yeah, I think there is something to that. Artists who often do conceptual art do it because they are actually afraid of doing things that are aesthetically pleasing, because they are afraid to be seen as superficial. And yeah, was that what you meant? That was a rant. You think maybe a lot of artists believe they're different or talented because they create something aesthetically pleasing rather than creating something considered mundane. That's kind of a strange. Well, I don't think artists think they are talented or different because they create something which is aesthetically pleasing necessarily. Because what is good is usually aesthetically pleasing. And that has to do with how many times you touch a surface or how deep you go. The deeper you go, the more focused subjectivity you have in that object. It's almost like you are taking chaos, and the deeper you go, the less chaos, the more focused something becomes. And of course, to create something that is not aesthetically pleasing, you have to do a lousy job, because it's only things that are done really badly which actually is aesthetically pleasing, is not aesthetically pleasing. But then you have that girl I was talking about, and she is creating things that are apparently aesthetically pleasing, but for a trained eye, it is obviously superficial. It is like much of the film music, this pathos. It's just so loud and so a lot of cliches and stuff. And then you have Beethoven, or you have Rachmaninoff, which also are using cliches, but they are pinpointed and they are focused and they are deep and they are going deep, and it's difficult, and it's yeah, you know. So you can create things that are apparently aesthetically pleasing to people who don't have the depth or have the introspection to recognize what is really beautiful. And I can take myself as a good example. In the beginning, when I was doing painting and stuff, I hated brushwork. I thought it was just, what do you call it, graps. I thought it was just somebody taking some and just smacking a canvas with it. But today, when I look at the same paintings, I see why. I see the artist there. I see that these brushworks are beautiful. I can see the battle. I can see why it is like this. I can see the person. I can see the choices. Even in piano music, and I just got myself a piano or start playing the piano. Even in piano music, I can hear the voice or the language or the voice of. It's almost like I can hear his choices, why he chose to do it that way. Why did he put that pressure? Why did he put that brushwork exactly where he put it? So, yeah. But most people haven't gone deep. To go deep hurts. To go deep will make you procrastinate a lot because it's painful. So for that girl I was talking about, which I'm gonna make a video about, she is so superficial that there is no real battle. So she can produce paintings en masse because there is nothing difficult with what she's doing. It's all relative. It's all kinds of looks good, but there's no depth and there's no struggle, and it's all superficial, and you can hear it in the way she talks, the way she acts, the way she dresses. The fact that she probably have an eating disorder also doesn't make it any better. I shouldn't, of course. She's actually quite cute. You know, she's the kind of girl that you could, you know, feel like you want to ravish because she's kind of a plump and she have this baby face, and she's feminine, but she's a little bit plump, but you can see that her diet is probably off. I'm gonna play a little clip of her again so you can actually hear what I mean. It's mean of me to do this, but I think it's necessary because it is just so bad that yeah, it's actually quite hard to fathom. So it's just listen to this.
One year, we decided to close down the print shop for the holidays just to catch up on some browse. And when we opened up the print studio again, we were flooded with more orders than we could possibly handle. My mum saw how much work needed to be done and offered to come help us process orders with Nan too, so I could keep painting during that time. But this collaboration, today I'm going to be answering more of your most commonly asked questions about being an artist and a content creator. You guys have been flooding my DMs with this question over the last couple of weeks, and it's, do you ever feel fatigued? I've sold my paintings all over the world, and I'm an art school reject, and the story of how it happened is actually like kind of funny. So to get into an art university at Melbourne,
You know, just listening to these small clips, and I see what she's doing, how superficial it is.
make bad art intentional.
Yeah, make bad art intentional.
What is the one piece of advice you wish you'd been given as a beginner artist? And that is so it for me. I literally wish that somebody had come down onto my little like bed that I was painting on and just being like, Talia, stop being so fucking perfect with it. It doesn't.
Oh God. You know what I mean? Is there anyone out there listening to this nonsense? It drives me literally insane listening to this chick, you know. And what she's doing is just superficial. And it kind of. Like this, it's just sketch, you know. It's not finished. I have to go deep. I have to go so deep in this to get it right because there's not so much nuance. And of course, when I'm talking, it's more difficult. I really doesn't go that deep into the painting when I stream or I make my videos. Sometimes when I make my videos, I actually just forget that I'm filming and stuff, and I go deeper. But But that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm going to close down the stream. It's sad that it started out so weird, but maybe get demonetized this one because I play the clips of her stuff in the background. You never know, but I don't care. I'm not earning that much money on these things anyway. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna close it down now. Thanks for watching, the ones who were here. Now you have the chance, is anyone right now want to ask me a question? Now's the time. Do a countdown or something. Yeah, I've been doing for 90 minutes now, so it's 1.5 hours with me yapping and talking like crazy. So yeah. Now I saw some new person jumped in here. Hello, hello, hello. If you have a question, you have to do it now because I'm actually closing down the stream. What you can do, if you like to, of course, is that you can ask me questions in comments after the fact. If you want to have me as your painting teacher, coach, whatever. Okay, now I should talk to you. If you want to have me as a coach or something, you can go to my PATRON and sign up there. So, or you could also buy me a coffee or whatever, and I will answer all your questions there. Now you see how You can see how it is. Now it's very red, and this is very red, but I have a lot of work to do, as you can see. Now it's a very different colors when you go. In reality, it's more subdued, it's more orange, and it's more light, and there's a lot of stuff here, but you know, anyway. So that's where I'm watching you. My palettes. I made that case actually in prison. That's quite funny. This is my studio, my new piano. And yeah. You can see here, that's my girlfriend on the TV over there. She likes to be tied up. And that's my bed over there and kitchen, and it's a crazy place actually. Look at this table, it's just a mess. Always becomes like this. That's how it is to be an artist. Okay, have a good one. Thanks for watching. Give a thumbs up, leave a comment, ask me questions. If you like, you can go to PATRON and sign up there, and I will help you evolve your painting if you feel you need that. If you want to support my channel, you can buy me a coffee or whatever. And I hope to see you tomorrow in a stream, probably 9 o'clock in the evening Norwegian time, so 9 or 10 or something like that. So hope to see you there. With this, I close it down now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bye bye. Stop.